Hi students, Miss Walsh here, and what we're going to do today is we are going to learn how to make a cumulative frequency graph on our HP prime. Before we do, we're just going to practice an important skill of being able to find the approximate mean of these scores on our calculator as well. Okay, so here we go. We're going to input our data first, and remember that we are going to put in the midpoints. Okay, so we're going to go to just apps and one variable stats, and I already have it here before because I messed up and I have to record this again. So I have my midpoints in my D1 and my frequency in D2. Okay, once I have this, I can just hit stats, okay? But I don't know if this is correct or not. So what's always good to check, very important, okay, is just go to your symbols and make sure that what you have here are indeed the correct ones. When I was doing this last time, I still had D3 in there. So if you do have something else, just make sure that you're telling him, hey, my data is in D1. And my frequency for the data is in D2. And so this way, when you are having your data, you know that he is calculating the right thing, okay? So now I can just hit the stats button. And remember that mean is denoted by this X bar, yeah? This is our notation for the mean. Now, notice that in the question it said approximate mean, and the reason for that is because we just assumed that things were going to work out more or less for the middle. Yeah, but we didn't actually account of the fact that it could be a little bit lower than the middle or higher in the middle. That's why it's approximate. Okay, so 66.9 is our rounded result. And so here we go. We are now going to make a cumulative frequency curve, which we did by hand in the last podcast. But now we're going to see whether we can get the calculator to do it for us. And you guessed it, we can, because this wouldn't be a calculator podcast if the calculator couldn't do it. Haha. All right, there's two little issues to sort out. First of all, you will remember that when you hear cumulative, remember that means up to and including, okay? So we are going to need our endpoints, okay? Instead of our midpoints. That's our first issue. And then our second issue is that with a cumulative frequency, we are going to be wanting to be adding as we go along, right? So if we want up to 30, then we did the 2 and we added the 6 and we had 8 and so on. And of course, right now for your data, you could just add 5 here, right? And the reason that I'm saying add 5 is because the midpoints all need 5 more in order to be the endpoints, right? We're going to have the calculator do that for us, okay? So here we go. It's very exciting. And here's what we're going to do. So we're going to open the brackets and we're going to go, hey, calculator, can you take my D1 and can you add 5 to it? And then could you just store that for me in D3? Notice I didn't do D2 because my frequency is in there, right? I don't want to overwrite that. Okay, and now when you go back to your one variables, you see that in D3, you've got this being 5 more, okay? All right, let's deal with the other problem, and that is right now, this is our frequency, and we would like this to be our cumulative frequency. All right, so let's go home again. Well, we are home. We've been home a lot, let's face it. Okay, and here's what we're gonna do. We are going to hit the toolbar and it's going to give you this option for your catalog. So open the catalog. I was already doing it before and just scroll down to cum sum. So cumulative sum, okay? So, and what are we gonna do? Well, we want the cumulative sum of, remember what we want? We want the cumulative sum of D2 where our frequency was. And hey, could you just store that for us in, let's store it in D4, okay? All right, and look what happens. when you go now to this, you have your endpoints and you have your cumulative sum. Beautiful. So now we can make a cumulative frequency graph from this, okay? Let's do it. Let's go to our symbols. And now what we want is we want this to be D3. And we want this to be D4. And we're just going to make a line graph, okay? There's box and whisker. We don't, histogram. I don't know what a Pareto is, but sounds interesting. Okay, we're just going to do a line graph, okay? And I'm going to try this view auto scale. Okay, it did this last time. It's not great, but that's no problem. A good skill to have if something is automatically not working, knowing how to fix it, right? So remember that you can adjust the window in the plot. So we're going to go to Shift, Plot, and now look at your X values. They're ranging from about 0 to 100. So I'm just going to go them from 0 to 120 just to give it a little bit of space. And then on the Y, we are starting at 0. And remember, our values get pretty big, right? We had 120 students overall. So I'm just going to make this 150 to give it a bit of space. And now when I hit, plot, no, don't split it, don't split it. Okie dokie. Let's just do this again. What did I hit? 132 is fine. Okay, there we go, okay? And so now you can walk along this as well. And as you walk along, if I press menu here, it actually shows me all the values. Cool, huh? And we did this all just by pressing buttons. Okay, so now in C, it's asking us, determine the number of students that scored below 80 points, okay? So what we need to do is we need to go up to 80. Oh, okay, I just happen to be 80 at 80, and I see that at 80, I have 93 students that are below. Now, if it said that scored above 80 points, remember this is cumulative frequency. The 93 is up to and including 80, so you would have had to subtract that from 120. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed learning this little skill on your HP prime, and let's end with a little joke. So, why didn't the Romans struggle with algebra? Because x was always 10. Ha 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 ha. All right, it's actually somewhat difficult to find funny math jokes on the internet, so if you have a good one, please do send it in. We will appreciate it. All right, bye.